Welcome to the Morning Report, a production of fightbackmedia.com, the #1 source of urban conservative information in America.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Will Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, fightbackmedia.com, and fightbackmediatv.com. We are thrilled that you are here. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Wow. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Over the weekend, the president-elect selected the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Chad Chronister to be the head of the Drug Enforcement Agency. Okay. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with that, except that I'm not really a fan of the sheriff. And I know that I'm a good Republican, and I know that a lot of my friends who watch and keep up with my posts on X and Facebook and whatever are good Republicans, and he's been a Republican sheriff for Hillsborough County for a while. And like I said in my video yesterday, maybe it's not fair that one incident turns me sour on an individual, but it also depends on the intensity of that one event, doesn't it? It really does. Now, way back in 2000, let's make sure I get this, because somebody accused me online of revisionist history, and I don't think that's the case. This happened on Monday, March 30th, 2020. We were in the height of you-know-what. And I'm reading this from a CNN report. Pastor Rodney Howard-Browne said that he wouldn't close the doors of his Tampa church, of his Tampa, Florida, and they used the phrase mega church. And we have to listen, again, I always listen to the word people use, because the phrase mega church has, in a lot of areas, a negative connotation. And all it really means is that it's a big church. A lot of people go there. I don't know when that became a problem, when you have a couple of thousand people go to a particular church, why that's a problem. So we name it a mega church, and we start calling these pastors TV evangelists. Like somehow, if Jesus had television, he wouldn't use it. If he had the radio, he wouldn't use it. If Jesus had the internet, he wouldn't use it. Well, he had pretty big crowds, 5,000 plus. Pretty big crowds, right? Anyway, on Monday, Florida sheriff's deputies arrested the evangelical pastor, because evangelical is being turned into a bad word, who continued to host large church services, because he's in a large church, despite public orders urging residents to stay home to help contain the spread of you-know-what. Public orders. Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister said that Howard-Browne has been charged with 2 counts of unlawful assembly and a violation of health emergency rules. Both are second-degree misdemeanors, Chronister said at a press conference on Monday. Last week, Hillsborough County issued an order. Hillsborough County issued an order directing residents to remain at home effective March 27th. This was the 15 days to flatten the curve thing, right? Including, except for essential trips. Like going to church for me isn't essential. Like somebody else decides that going to a church service isn't essential for me. But going to a grocery store is somehow essential. When they'll come and put the groceries outside my door, right? And at the time, we only had about 5,200 cases at the time, and less than 70, unalivings. I feel so stupid using these terms. Chronister, I said that he and the department lawyers had repeatedly urged Brown to close the river. The river is the name of the church. Making personal requests and speaking with the church's attorney. On Sunday, police went to the church to speak to the pastor, who just didn't make himself available. It's like, because I don't have to talk to you. I'm broken any law. I don't have to talk to you. The church held two services that day. Yes. I love this. His reckless disregard for human life puts hundreds of people in his congregation at risk. Well, here's the deal. Howard Brown didn't go and round up people and drag them to church. They came to church. They came to church on their own free will. Put them in dangers. Howard Brown was arrested in Hernando County, where he lives, and was not immediately available for comment. Of course not. But one of his attorneys issued a statement Monday challenging the logic of the county's stay-at-home order and saying that the River Church took extra health precautions for his services Sunday. The church gave each of attendee a hand sanitizer, and its staffers wear gloves and enforce a 6-foot distance between family groups in the auditorium, attorney said. And if you've been there, it's a big, big, big flipping auditorium. Everybody was spread out, family groups, because there's no reason to go into a place and be 6 foot away from the person that you share a house with. Not only did the church comply with the administrative order regarding the 6-foot distancing, which we found out later was foolishness, it went above and beyond any other business to ensure health and safety of the people. The attorney said, contrary to the sheriff's Chronister's allegation that Howard Brown was reckless in his actions, the Hillsborough County and Hernando County sheriffs were discriminatory against religion and church gatherings. Let me tell you a secret. My church, which is a lot smaller, the church I attend, I should say my church, the church that I attend is a lot smaller. We did the very same thing. Spread out in family groups, right? And we never missed a service. We never missed a service. Rodney Howard Brown's church is not a typical denominational church. It's not Catholic, it's not Baptist, it's not Methodist, Episcopalian. It isn't. It is a Pentecostal church. And a lot of people around here who go to denominational churches think it's weird. And it's always easy to pick on what people think is weird. I think they do a great job at the river. I think they do a great job in discipling people. I think they do a great job in helping the community. And it's not weird. Not weird. If things had turned out differently, we would have probably been attending the river. If things had turned out differently. If I didn't have the option that I have now, and the pastor that I have now, we'd probably be going to the river. Probably. I think that's a fair statement, right? So our sheriff, who has now been tagged as being head of the Drug Enforcement Agency for the entire nation, this is part of his history. So forgive me, really, y'all, just forgive me if I am not super excited that he's getting this opportunity. I hope that he does well, because we need him to do well. But at the crux of all of this is this: where do sheriffs get their authority from? Now, the police chief serves at the pleasure of the mayor of a particular town, right? So the police chief of Tampa Police Department, shares at the pleasure of the president. The police chief isn't elected. They're appointed, right? Sheriffs, however, receive their authority from state constitutions and the U.S. Constitution. That's where they receive their authority. And they are responsible to the citizenry, not the Hillsborough County Health Department, not the Hillsborough County Commission. They're not. The Hillsborough County Commission does not give the sheriffs their walking orders, their marching orders. They do not. State constitutions, sheriffs are elected officials who are subject to the laws and constitutions of their state. And at that point, there weren't any laws that supported the behavior of the sheriff's department. There weren't any state laws that supported the behavior. Not one. Look it up. Sheriffs have exclusive authority and powers under state laws. And there weren't any on March 27, 2020, that gave them the authority to do what they did. This wasn't. Now, the problem that Hillsborough County had, and those in the area had, that the church is outside the city limits, and they couldn't get to them. The sheriff's departments are directly accountable to the citizens of their county, the state constitution, and the U.S. Constitution. And there weren't any laws that gave Sheriff Chronister the backing and the right to do what he did. And I'm going to ask you, as I end this video, just like I did in the other video, is Chad Chronister one of us? We'll see. All right, we got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn to love somebody. And for goodness sake, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.